Let's talk about safety. Look, I know that things like hearing protection and eye protection, they're not sexy, right? If we didn't have to put this stuff on, if magically we wouldn't be injured by fragments of bullets or projectiles, if our hearing would not be damaged by loud noises, we wouldn't wear this stuff. It's uncomfortable, it's cumbersome. So some of you don't know this about me. I'm a 5th generation carpenter. In 7th and 8th grade, I was working on construction sites. Not only was it not normal, but it was almost frowned upon to do things like put hearing protection in, to wear knee pads. I remember having earplugs in and somebody made fun of me. So much exposure to things like pneumatic nailers, saws, being in tight spaces with a lot of noise going on, jackhammers, demolition hammers, things of that nature. I developed substantial hearing loss. I'm working with a company right now, Harris & Sons out of Utah, on making me some in-ear hearing protection. A lot of times when we're shooting on the indoor range, I have these on with foam earplugs inside of it. These are molds that I just had made today for each of my ears. So I went into an audiologist. They did a hearing test because they need to find out where the loss and damage is in my hearing. Then they made these molds. These molds are going to ship out to Utah. The folks out there are gonna tune them to pick up the frequencies that I lost. So just like these over-ear, you know, everybody these days seems to have over-ear protection. These gold ears are top of the line. The audio in these is better than any over-ear earmuffs I've tried, and I have them all. I've got 3M, I've got Peltor. The audio quality coming in is primo. But hot days, you're dripping sweat. You can bump them and knock them off when you're moving. Mount something like a rifle, right? Mounting a rifle. Now I can't get the same index on the gun as I would without it. So I'm gonna have some high quality in-ear ear pro. There's companies that make them for much less than these guys, except it's not an exact mold of the inside of your ear, nor does it have that kind of high quality audio. That's a side point to this video. I'm not an old man, but I'm not a young man. And it was a little bit sobering to leave the audiologist today with a sales book for a hearing aid. Her words were, you have substantial hearing loss in the high frequencies. The high frequencies are really what goes. Red's not good. Red's not good. And I sat there, I know I've got this. I have to turn the TV up. I have to ask my wife and daughter to please repeat themselves. I know I've got it, but to sit in the chair and have a doctor hand me this and start talking about hearing aids is freaking sobering. So I'm blind in one eye. Some of you may or may not know that, which is why I use some of the best eye protection on the market. My regular glasses that I use day to day are all Trivex lenses, which is some of the best impact rated lenses. So just out and about, I get in a car crash, whatever, I've at least got something in front of my eyes. I started years ago wearing earplugs and such, even if I'm running a shop vac, because all of that stuff cumulatively is what leads to hearing loss. We know this. Running a lawnmower, a weed whacker, a chainsaw. By the way, did you guys know I ran a tree service for a few years? I ran chainsaws like crazy. And yes, we oftentimes had over ears, but there were many times we'd fire a saw up to get it warmed up, wah, 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 and didn't have ear pro on, or you just needed to make one quick cut, just one quick cut. That kind of stuff, showing up to a concert, a ball game, the roar of the crowd. Our ears are not designed to take that overload. So now, this is what I hear. Basically, what Drew just edited in there was a high-pitched ring with a nice shh. That's it right there. Shh. Constantly, 24/7, all day long. So when I meet you in person and you talk to me, I hear your voice, and over it is a shh. It's very unnerving. could have been completely avoided. As we age, our hearing decreases. I damaged mine. I damaged it because I subjected myself to things that our ears are not designed to take in, which is why I'm really vehement about things like eye and ear protection. And you young dudes out there, I'm good. Revving your motorcycle, working on your truck, pounding on something with a hammer, all of those noises break those hairs in your inner ear, and eventually that stuff is gone. When that damage is done in those small incremental instances, it does not come back. Ever. Before you end up having to go in and find out that it's your time for a hearing aid, do something about it. Don't subject yourself to those kinds of noise. Even things like in-ear and over-ear music is leading to damage. Think about it. Care about you, I want you to care about yourself, because protecting yourself is not just being good with a gun. Protecting yourself is taking care of your body so that you can live a long, full life, so that you can hear the words coming out of your wife and daughter's mouth, so that you can hear the sounds of the ocean, so that you can hear the birds chirping, so that you can enjoy all that this earth has to offer. Protect yourself. Good idea.
You know, I'm like, hey, I can stand in the isosceles, or I can stand here all day long and shoot one round at a time and get good hits. I'm like, that's how they used to target shoot in the 50s, 60s, 70s, I go, but there's a lot of tactical reasons you shouldn't shoot like that, right? And so once you explain to people, like, okay, I guess that makes sense, right? So you just have to show them, and you have to show them why. And I like to give them the science behind why.
Sure.
Now, 20 years ago, we didn't have a lot of the science in our industry, right? The war has been good for us. Yeah. I say that, I don't like that we're in war.
With data gathering.
Data gathering, the equipment,
pressure
the weapons,
testing,
all this
ideas.
stuff, the ammunition. Think of, 20 years ago, 9 mil. Oh, gas, 9 mil. Why would you shoot 9 mil in a hand? It was like, you can't shoot that self-defense.
It doesn't end in 4, or doesn't start with a 4.
Yeah. It was like, when I first became a cop, they're like, you don't carry a 45, at minimum a 40.
That's funny. I remember even 10 years ago, all my copper buddies all still were carrying 1911s.
Yeah.
Like the guys that were more on the badass side of things.
Right. They all got their Wilson combat.
Yeah, guys that were on the SWAT teams and stuff, they all shot, and they had a 10-round extended mag, and they were...
Yep, that's 100%. And now then the FBI spends 3 years researching 9mm bullets. They changed the 9mm, and now you see this huge wave going across the country of every department starting to go to 9mm. And you know what? I kind of agree with it. I teach a lot of females, and we shoot a 40 at my agency, a Glock 40, the 22, and I have literally taken females with very little, pistol shooting experience whatsoever. You have them stand at the 5-yard line, just shoot me as tight a group as you can, no time, right? Just boom, boom, shoot me 10 rounds, as tight a group as you can do. Doop, doop, doop. They shoot them, you hand them a 9mm Glock, shoot the same group, right? And it goes from here to here. And so I watch it with my own eyes, and I say, why wouldn't I want her to have a 9mm?
Right.